As a researcher, if your number one AI tool is ChatGPT, you're making a big mistake because there's so much out there that you're missing out on. In this video, I'm going to tell you about my top 5 tools for researching, and I'm sure you will not find these tools anywhere. Not only will I show you the tools, I'll tell you how to use them, because most people, they might know the tools, but they might not realize how they can actually use them. So I'm going to show you everything in action over here. Let's get started. And by the way, ChatGPT is not in my top 5 again. So the first one I have is Claude. Yes, Claude, much better than ChatGPT. Why? Because it has something called as this consensus connector. There's just so much you can do with this connector, because this one will actually sift through all the research papers available online essentially, and it will give you the latest available papers that you can now use for your literature review. For instance, in this case, I'm going to do literature review in Parkinson's disease using AI. Not only that, it can also take a look at the ongoing research accomplishment, limitations, and help you understand them. So here I actually give it a prompt, we press enter, and here's what it does. So you can see it gives me the whole literature review, introduction, scope, background, definitions, thematic synthesis, methodological landscape, key findings, evidence, strength, limitation, research gaps, everything. This is basically what you want in a research review, right? At the end of the day, it also gives me the paper inventory, the exact papers that it considered, which ones were used. Now you can actually go ahead and take a look at them as well. Not only that, you could feed it your own papers if you wanted. But now this is where I show you something amazing. So I asked Claude to create a beautiful HTML page which is designed with charts, graphs, and infographics, which helps me understand this whole literature review better, because you know what, I don't want to read so much. I want some images. And here's what it produces. The end result is so professional. You have a proper introduction of the HTML page, you have statistics, you have graphs, you have distinction between papers using different methodologies, which papers are getting what kind of a success rate, the accuracies, which method is better. You know, each and every characteristic of the literature review that's important for you to understand, it's present in this HTML page. And guess what? It just got 10 times easier for you to understand what's going on in the field before you start your work, and all of this was done in 10 minutes. You would normally easily spend days and days just doing this research that Claude could help you do in just 10 minutes. Now I told you I'll show you exactly how Claude can be used, so take a look at this. Now I asked Claude to create a research proposal on multimodal detection of Parkinson's disease using speech, gait, basically how you walk, and acoustic features. I want all of them, and I want it in a Word document, which actually is a proper research proposal. Here's what it does. It creates the whole research proposal in one go. As you can see, it is extremely professional looking. You can just download this Word file, tweak it if you want, update it. It has a proper abstract, proper research gaps, objectives, methodology, what they're going to do essentially, each and everything laid out very well properly with a timeline. Obviously, this may not be perfect and you want to change it according to you and according to what your research is going to be about, but this research proposal was generated in less than 10 minutes. And that's what I want to do in this video. Not only do I want to tell you the tool name, I want to show you how to use it. Because guess what? Most YouTube channels are not doing that as of today. And if you like that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because it really helps me, give me that push, you know, to create more such content for you guys, because creating these videos takes a lot of time. The next one on my list is Semantic Scholar. This is actually one of my favorite tools. Why? Because it's 100% free. You go ahead, you enter the title of the research that you're pursuing. So let's say Parkinson's disease detection using machine learning. It gives me the latest papers right over here, which are being published in this domain with relevancy. It has filters. I can filter it by the papers which were published in the last 1 year. So it will load those results up, and you know, using that I can get the latest papers. But not only that, there's a filter called has PDF. So basically papers which are open access, which you can access without actually having to pay for. You get a PDF of those papers directly. Now I'm able to see those papers directly, which is great, because I could just click on the PDF and I could just read those papers without having to worry about accessing these papers, without having to worry about purchasing the memberships or purchasing the access to the papers. So it's really a nice tool. I mean, of course, you can do literature review with Claude, but sometimes you want to go deeper. You want to look at the exact papers, and Semantic Scholar is where I do all of that. The third tool on my list is Jenni AI, and this one I really use for drafting papers, editing them, citing them. It makes it super easy. I'm going to show you how. This one, by the way, it's not entirely free, but I use the free version. Every now and then, you know, I get it to do small tasks, which makes my life easier. So for instance, the moment you start Jenni AI, you want to enter the title of your paper, especially if it's a new paper. That's how I would use it. So let's say a research paper on Parkinson's disease detection using multimodal techniques, you know, speech, gait, sound, whatever. And once that title is in, and I'm going to click next again on the citation settings, I'm going to leave them as standard, but then I'm going to ask it to create smart headings based on my paper, generate headings, which actually gives me like a skeleton of the paper that, okay, these are the sections that your paper will have, which makes my life super easy when I have to generally start working with the paper. I don't know what to add. Now I already know, hey, I need to add this, this, all these sections need to be present in the paper. Now Jenni AI can do more than that. It can not only suggest sections, it can start drafting the paper for you as well. So as you can see, for clinical background, it's writing one line at a time. I just have to review it. It's giving me the exact citations where it's getting that line from, so I can study those papers. I can understand if the citation is proper, obviously. So it's a good starting point. And then one thing I like about Jenni AI is that, of course, you can upload your own paper over here as well. If you've already worked on it, you've written it manually, that's great. And then you can request Jenni to do a peer review of any section of the paper or the entire paper if you want. And you know what? This peer review is amazing because it tells you exactly what the weaknesses in the paper are, what you need to improve, how a peer reviewer sort of thinks of this. That's what Jenni AI is going to give me. And that makes my life super easy. Not only that, you also have an AI chat option, so you can actually ask questions about a particular sentence or portion of the paper. So if you don't understand something, so you can ask questions such as, hey, why do we use this particular method instead of using a singular method? Why do we combine multiple methods? And it actually gives you a very proper, well-researched answer from, of course, the AI. There's a lot more on Jenni AI and I've made a separate video about it, but these are just some of the most common ways I end up using it. The next tool on the list, number 4, is SciSpace. Amazing tool, and it's also a full research stack tool, so you can do basically whatever you want. The way I like to start with SciSpace is using the chat with PDF tool. One of the best ways to get started. You can upload multiple PDFs if you have the premium. Otherwise, I use the free one, so I upload one single PDF at a time, one paper at a time, and then I can chat with the PDF. I can ask questions to this PDF. If I don't understand a part of the paper, I can click on that portion and I can ask the AI over here in SciSpace to explain that text better. Once it explains the AI, I can even ask it to get related papers and it gets me related works for that explanation as well. So I can basically go to other papers and do even more due diligence if I want. And then there's the section of literature review in SciSpace, which is amazing because now I can tell SciSpace what I am researching on, and I can request a literature review for free, and it actually produces one. And that's not it. This one also, SciSpace also has an AI writer. So you can actually go onto the AI writer. You can ask it to start writing on any particular topic. For instance, all I'm doing over here is to just add the heading. I just added the heading and I say continue writing with citations. And just like Jenni, SciSpace also actually starts writing text for you, gives you the exact citations, so your answer is backed by other research that's already done in the industry. And it's really nice, but the problem here is that, as you can see, SciSpace is a pay tool after a point. So again, like I said, every tool has its pros, cons, limitations. You just gotta find out how you want to use it. And then the final tool on my list is probably one of my most favorite ones because this one was developed by us, yours truly. So if you want, you can go on to YMGrad.com, check out the YMGrad humanizer because that's a really nice tool. What it does, let me actually show you in action. So this is like an AI generated paper I have, just a literature review. I copy a portion of it and I try to detect the amount of AI in this text in ZOGPT. Obviously, it tells me that it has 100% AI because it was fully generated by AI. So I go onto the YMGrad humanizer. I add my text over there. I get a new version of this text, which is now, well, hopefully less AI generated, right? And I now paste this in ZOGPT and you will see that the output is 46% AI. It basically cut down the AI content close to 50%. Now here's another example. For instance, I took another piece of text. This one was AI generated, but I also had tweaked it. So it's 50% basically AI already, close to 50% because I also worked on it and I also used AI to work on it. Now I do the same exact thing. And with this 55% text, which was, 55% AI generated, now it's only 19%. So basically it cut down the AI in almost 1/3. It's insane what this tool can do without actually changing the sentence structure, without actually changing the vocabulary, or because a lot of tools that actually do this, they completely change the meaning. But this particular tool, the YMGrad humanizer, it keeps everything the same. It just removes those portions which are detected by these algorithms as AI generated, which is amazing because this tool is free. You can use it for absolutely free if you want. And it's one of the best tools on the market right now. And those are some of my top 5 ways to use AI in research. If you like the video, of course, share this with the researchers who need to know. And also, did you know that you can find research groups on YMGrad? So if you go ahead, you'll find that there's so many other people researching. So if you want co-authors, you can basically connect with people over there. That's a really nice place to do that. And if you'd like more such videos, comment down below. Let me know what kind of videos you'd like. You can also find me on Instagram, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye and take care. Until next time.